BYU-Hawaii had the Gates of Paradise, a plaster cast from the Renaissance at this campus for 32 years. These are plaster reproductions of the gilded bronze doors that were created by Lorenzo Ghiberti back between 1425 and 1452 in Florence, Italy. In fact, Michelangelo himself said, "These are so beautiful, they're worthy to be the gates of paradise, entry into heaven." Because BYU-Hawaii doesn't have display space and there's no venue for them to be shown here, the BYU Museum of Art was willing to take these pieces.
When we discovered that BYU-Hawaii was willing to transfer ownership of these plasters to our museum, we saw it as a great opportunity.
The big concern was this is such a treasure and it deserves a venue and a display area, and at the time it just didn't rise to the top as a first priority with the administration.
I was astonished, absolutely floored, when I first found out that BYU-Hawaii had a plaster cast of the Gates of Paradise. I was concerned, given the weather, given the conditions of a tropical island, that these might be degrading.
They were recreated and taken to Provo, Utah, where they will be displayed in the BYU Museum of Art after they've been restored and they have been prepared for display.
We never anticipated having a set of plasters maybe of this caliber or of this relevance to our students.
Lorenzo Ghiberti was a sculptor and goldsmith from the early Renaissance time. As a young man, he won the competition to do the doors for the baptistry in Florence, and later those turned out so beautifully he was given the commission for the next set of doors, which have become known as the Gates of Paradise. They are panels of the Old Testament. They tell Old Testament stories starting with Adam and Eve, going to Cain and Abel, to Noah, to David. One of our faculty members, Jan Fisher, who was a sculptor professor, happened to be traveling in Florence, Italy, and saw the Gates of Paradise on the doors of the baptistry in Florence across from the Duomo, and fell in love with them. Also was exploring around the city and found a workshop of workmen who were making a plaster cast of the doors. So he talked with these workmen, and they knew an artist in common whose name was Avard Fairbanks, who had been here in Laie and done the friezes on the temple here. This gentleman who was making the cast was impressed that Jan Fisher knew him, and as it turned out, they formed a friendship, and when Jan Fisher told him he was representing a university in the Pacific, he was impressed with the extraordinary opportunity to have a Renaissance piece in this area. And I love the fact that BYU-Hawaii, the Polynesian Culture Center, and BYU Provo were able to work together in an ohana-type experience to bring to pass the preservation of these masterpieces.